Okay, back to the lighthearted stack. One of the emails that leaked in the hack of Sony, Amy Pascal, the co-chairman of Sony Pictures, in an email thread back and forth, I forget who it was, she suggested that when Daniel Craig's run as James Bond is over, and this is it, this is contractually his last film, she suggested a new James Bond. And I'm not sure how you pronounce the guy's name. Idris Elba is what it looks like on paper. Idris Elba, who is, well, I can't say African-American, he's British. African-English, right? African-Brit. He's black, he's from Great Britain. He has played, he was on The Wire. And he was in a British cop drama procedural called Luther. Did you watch Luther? What, Luther on Netflix? Sam, I have it. I didn't watch it. Okay, here's the thing though. James Bond is a fictional character, obviously. James Bond was invented and created by Ian Fleming, a former spy, MI6. And James Bond is a total concept put together by Ian Fleming. He was white and Scottish. Period. That is who James Bond was. But now Sony is suggesting that the next James Bond should be Idris Elba, a black Briton rather than a white from Scotland. But that's not who James Bond is. And I know it's racist to probably even point this out. But the franchise needs to get with it, right? The franchise needs to get hip. The franchise needs to get with the 21st century. Well, that's right. We have 50 years of white Bonds because Bond is white. Bond was never black. Ian Fleming never created a black Brit to play James Bond. The character was always white. He was always Scottish. He always drank vodka. And shaken, not stirred, and all that. Okay, so we're not supposed to have a problem with this. I mean, it's a movies. Come on. We've had 50 years of white James Bonds. We need to spread it out. We need to be equal. We need to be fair about this. Okay, fine. Let's play a little game. Jay-Z's favorite? How would I know what Jay-Z's favorite drink is? What would that be? Cristal? Yeah. Well, how about in the movie, we know we're going to get one. How about in the movie about the Obamas? Because there's going to be one. How about George Clooney play Obama and Kate Hudson play Michelle My Belle Obama? How would that do? I mean, if we're going to do this, let's imagine it. Nelson Mandela movie. Another, there's going to be an Idris Elba played Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela was black. What the movies can do, whatever. Kelsey Grammer as Nelson Mandela. How about that? We're just playing here, ladies and gentlemen. Al Sharpton. There will be a movie. The Al Sharpton story. Who do we get to play Al Sharpton? Because they need 2 or 3 of them at various. How about Rob Reiner? Rob Reiner to play the early Al Sharpton with the bullhorn and megaphone and all that. General Colin Powell, Colonel Colin Powell. There'll be, there's going to be a series of TV documentaries or movies. How about, who would it be? How about George C. Scott? He played Patton. I know he's dead, but what does that matter? We could reproduce him cinemagraphically. How about, let's see, Condoleezza Rice. We do a movie on Condoleezza Rice. You might be thinking that we would have Halle Berry. No. Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson will, all she have to do is take some piano lessons. She's got it. Scarlett Johansson is Condoleezza Rice. Michael Sam. You know there's going to be a movie on Michael Sam. And if Idris Elba is going to play James Bond, and if it's a natural fit, and it's the only way we can go, and then let's see. How about Hugh Grant as Michael Sam? Now, what has your reaction been to all? Oh, no. I can see on Snerdley's face, he's laughing. He gets it. But no, this would never fly. Of course not, it wouldn't fly. Now, admittedly, all these characters I've mentioned are real-life characters, and James Bond has never lived, per se. He's a fictional character. But he was white and Scottish. Oh, I know they're doing it with comic books. They're doing it. There's now the African-American version of Annie. Captain America coming up. I know all of this stuff is let's see, they're doing Annie. Remember, they did it with Whitney Houston. There was a movie in 1947 called The Bishop's Wife, and it was remade for Whitney Houston called The Preacher's Wife. You see, sometimes a story is just a story, but we can always make it better. We can always be more fair. We can always be more equal about it. So, fine and dandy. George Clooney and Kate Hudson as Barack and Michelle Obama, and you can have Idris Elba as James Bond. We'll trade up. You know, seriously, in one of those hacked emails, somebody responded to Amy Pascal when she suggested Idris Elba to play James Bond. Somebody said, no, we couldn't do that because they can't have black stars in the lead in the James Bond because foreign markets would not exhibit the movie. The Sony exec said that Bond has to be white for international distribution. They simply will not accept an African-American or a black guy as James Bond. Sony exec responding to Amy